Ever catch your mind wandering, imagining highly detailed conversations that never actually took place? Maybe walking alone and suddenly explaining something perfectly to thin air? Well, welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into this fascinating psychological quirk and exploring exactly why human brains absolutely love to create these elaborate illusions.
Think about those incredibly relatable moments. Standing in the shower, arguing passionately with empty space. Or pacing around a room delivering the absolute perfect comeback to a non-existent opponent. Sometimes, it happens while lying in bed at night. The brain suddenly creates a completely detailed, vivid scene out of thin air. The scenarios are fake, but the experience itself feels surprisingly real, doesn't it?
Section 1. The Fake Scenario Phenomenon.
So, the big question immediately pops up. Why do humans keep imagining scenarios that never happen? What's truly fascinating is that these imagined scenes often trigger entirely real emotions. You can feel genuine excitement, intense anger, and even experience physical reactions like a noticeably raised heart rate. Psychologically speaking, this behavior is incredibly common. It isn't just idle daydreaming. It actually serves a hidden, highly functional problem-solving purpose for the brain.
Moving to Section 2. Science of Mental Simulation.
The brain is essentially running a highly active piece of puzzle-solving software. Psychologists define this core concept as mental simulation. Basically, it's the brain's automatic process of running background scenarios to plan, prepare, and rehearse for possible future situations. Think of it as a dedicated mental rehearsal space located right inside your head.
So who exactly uses this rehearsal space? While athletes do this intentionally, carefully visualizing their performance before a major competition. Public speakers deliberately imagine their speeches before stepping on stage. But for the everyday brain, this system often kicks into overdrive without necessarily needing to be active at all. The everyday brain is simply over-preparing.
Section 3. 3 Fake Scenario Patterns. Psychologists have observed 3 distinct and highly predictable patterns when analyzing these imagined scenarios. Notice how the brain tends to divide its simulation energy almost equally. Roughly a third goes to argument scenarios, another third is spent on future success, and the final chunk, 34%, is dedicated to worst-case scenarios.
Let's look at pattern 1, which focuses on argument scenarios. This is the ultimate quest for the perfect comeback. Here, a person imagines explaining themselves perfectly, defending a vital point, or flawlessly winning an argument. Usually, it stems from a past conversation that someone strongly wished had gone differently. We've all definitely been there.
Then there is pattern 2, future success scenarios. This involves imagining achieving major, life-changing goals, proving doubters wrong, or gaining widespread recognition. While these mental movies feel super exciting, they can easily become a form of escapism. It turns into a comfortable place to retreat whenever the present moment feels just a bit too mundane. And pattern 3 highlights worst-case scenarios. This is the chaotic pattern where the mind creates negative outcomes before they even happen. The brain is literally preparing elaborate defenses for absolute disasters. Huge misunderstandings, total failures, massive arguments that might never actually occur in reality.
Which brings us to Section 4, the hidden need for control.
People who frequently imagine these fake scenarios aren't doing it just for mere entertainment. There is a deeper emotional driver operating quietly behind all these patterns. The brain constantly analyzes social situations to see how others perceive you. Because of this, the brain creates imaginary conversations as a dedicated way to constantly process and practice complex social interactions. Deep down, it's a hidden craving for control.
Watch how easily this evolves into a trap. Step 1, the brain naturally analyzes a social interaction. Step 2, it decides to practice in the mind to prepare for next time. But step 3 is where the real danger lies, getting stuck in a mental loop. When this habit becomes too frequent, imagination rapidly devolves into a highly addictive, repetitive cycle.
So why is that mental loop so incredibly addictive? Well, in the realm of imagination, everything is safe and predictable. You completely control the responses, people say exactly what is expected of them. Real interactions, on the other hand, are wildly unpredictable, messy, and entirely out of your control. It becomes incredibly tempting to retreat into the head where outcomes feel entirely safe.
Section 5. Choosing reality over simulation.
To finally break this comforting yet limiting mental loop, a crucial psychological shift has to happen. Imagination is a powerful tool, not a hiding place. Having a highly active imagination simply means the brain is busy processing possibilities, which is great. The danger only arises when that simulation permanently replaces actual action.
This leads to a core, fundamental takeaway from today's explainer. Real growth happens in reality, not in simulations. The human mind is incredibly good at creating vivid stories, but the most meaningful experiences will always happen outside of fabricated mental narratives. The imagined version can never fully capture the magic of reality.
So are you ready to step outside the mind and experience reality? Sure, it might be messy, unpredictable, and challenging at times, but the real world is where actual life unfolds. It's officially time to log out of the mental rehearsal space, leave those perfect imaginary comebacks behind, and confidently engage with the brilliantly messy, entirely real world.